What's happening? How you doing?
And I'm great. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Blessed.
Blessed,
Right.
grateful. Those
It's
are great words to describe how are you doing. Deputy, why would you use that?
because I feel like nothing is guaranteed, especially, in life and in the music industry. You know what I mean? And, I know a lot of people who've been on a journey and this thing isn't guaranteed. So, even if amazing moments don't really happen, we have so much in life to be grateful for. You know what I mean? And along the journey, I feel like it's important to be grateful for the things that we might take for granted. But when you have amazing moments, understanding that those moments aren't guaranteed as well. So I like to work in an attitude of gratitude. Just to keep the peace and just be humble about everything.
You know what's interesting? A lot of people will look at a situation, right? And be like, you have this, you have that, you have this, but no one is looking deeper. Like you have your health, you have your
Yeah,
mobility, you woke up this morning. A lot of people take that for granted when you're talking about things that people take for granted. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely. And it's real easy to get, frustrated and stressed out with, life and just career goals. And, you could get blindsided by all those things and it could consume you to where you take for granted all the other things that are going amazing. And I always say, it could always be worse because there's always someone else going through something a little bit crazier than what you think you're going through. You know what I mean? So gratitude, man, being grateful for
Have you
sure.
ever heard the term if everybody puts their problems in a bag, you would rush to go get your own problems and take them back? Have you ever heard
Uh,
that?
I haven't heard that, but that's yeah, that sums it up. That sums it up 100%. Yeah, because you never know, bro. There's always someone going through something, else that's way terrible and worse that that you're going through. So, nah, that's a great saying. I'm gonna steal that.
Absolutely. You got it. You got it.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
jump right into it. How did you get into producing?
I got into producing. Man, my route was different, honestly. So as a kid, I was involved in music, and the first instrument I played was the steel drum. Right, my parents are West Indian and from Trinidad, and that's the instrument of the country. And
Hmm.
so as a kid, I would always play and gig and play at amazing events. And as I got older, I never saw a career in terms of music. So I shifted to finance and I started working at Morgan Stanley. And when I started working there, I made great money, but I realized it wasn't my passion. And I read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it taught me that, it, the goal is to do things that are your passion. And the one consistent passion that I had was music. So I quit the job and I bought, some instruments with the money that I was making. And I just pretty much taught myself how to produce and just, it was just out of just a passion that I had and wanted to pursue. Finance was amazing, but it definitely wasn't my passion.
Do you remember that first song that you heard that made you fall in love with music?
Man, that's a tough one, bro. I wish, all right.
Give me like not necessarily like top five, but like I'm sure I have a top five songs that I have that just
Man,
made me love music, and they're all like old school throwback songs.
yeah, this is tough, bro. This is tough. Definitely a Michael Jackson song for sure. It's hard to even pick one,
Rock with You is on my list.
right? Stevie Wonder for sure. Probably Ribbon in the Sky,
Hmm.
or or even Part Time Lover. like just listen to Stevie in general. And then I would say like Mary J. Blige, like Biggie, coming into that, late 80s, early 90s wave of music that, just ushered in this new wave of sound and just urgency, as a kid, you know what I mean? Just like and listen to stuff that my brother listened to also. But man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's a
Man,
tough
you know what's interesting? You say Ribbon in the Sky, and I feel like people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I really enjoy intro versions of Living in Ribbon in the Sky. You know,
one. Oh,
intros, Ribbon in
yes,
the Sky.
yes, yes, yes. I mean, hey man, look, we're all entitled to our opinions, bro. We're all entitled to our opinions, man. But Stevie is definitely one of those, artists who had songs as a kid that, you know, my father would play, you know, that I
Mhm.
remember like hearing in the morning that, you know, just made me, it instilled something in me, and it also gave me a purpose as a musician. Once I decided this is what I want to do, I wanted to create things that evoked the same emotion that, you know, in that I got, you know, from listening to, you know, other creators and stuff like that. Yeah.
To be the highest compliment as a producer. Like when somebody listens to a song that you produce and they're like, this song made me feel blank.
Yes.
Still really good. Yes.
100%, 100%. Because I'm typically like behind the scenes, and when you're so close to a song, you really don't know how it affects people until you go outside.
Mhm.
So once I go outside and I start hearing people like tell me what the song meant to them, and you know, not then that's when I start like, you know, seeing the impact that it had, you know, and then like, oh wow, this, you know, and yes, that's a high compliment for sure. Because now it's gratifying, you know, now it's like satisfying also to understand that whatever I did, you know, got you through this moment or made you, you know, feel this way. And, you know, it's like purpose. It's like, that's the purpose.
And it's interesting how that happens, like how people find these songs and they listen to these songs almost like a form of therapy for them to get through whatever they are going through.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. You know, and sometimes that's the intention,
Mhm.
you know, if I'm making a sad song or if the chords are sad, all right, yeah, you want to feel a certain way. If I'm making something that's aggressive, you're going to feel aggressive, you know, and if that's the intention and it's executed right and it reaches and touches somebody, that's amazing. I have songs that, you know, aren't really considered, you know, popular that people has hit me too, like, yo, this song has got me through this moment, or you know, this song has affected me. So yeah, music's an amazing thing, man. Magical.
Have you ever had a situation where you're producing a song for someone, you guys are at it, right? And
Hmm.
you know the way how you want to do it is
Hmm.
the right way.
Hmm.
Maybe the artist wants to do it a different way.
Yep.
How do you navigate yourself through that situation?
Yo, you know what's crazy, man? All right, so I feel like I'm in a phase right now, like going through that and just learning, because I would consider the phase I'm in right now is like I call it a disruption and urgency, right?
Mhm.
I always, you know, a lot of the greats that I consider in my top five, you know, Pharrell, Timbaland, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Stevie Wonder, Quincy Jones, they were all disruptive in their own way, right? So in my mind, I'm like, yo, how did Pharrell get mystical to rap on a beat that was so weird? How did Pharrell, you know, how did Timbaland? And I'm going through the process of my mind of
Or
like
how does Quincy Jones tell Michael Jackson this song doesn't need chords here?
100%, 100%, right. So I feel like I'm going through that process now of finding the balance of, hey, you need to listen to me, but I'm gonna like give you your space too to like say what you have to say. And I think that's just based on just the relationship of who I'm working with, you know, and it's just them trusting, you know what I mean? It's just them trusting, but it's also how I express it. I call it the sandwich effect. Hey, you know, this is really dope. What you
The
think?
compliment sandwich. Have you heard about the compliment sandwich?
Compliment time. Yeah. Compliment time. Yep, yep. Hey, this is dope. You know, I see where you're going. I think we should, you know, I'm hearing it like this though, but your idea was great too. It's like bringing it all the way, it's bringing it back to, you know, so you want to make people feel inclusive, man. And I think my personality too is just I'm a humble individual. And
Right.
we've been around like Pharrell and Swiss, they're like artists, so their energy is crazy. So, you know, their antics is gonna leave you like, okay. You know what I mean? Like it's like whatever they say, whatever they do, the artist is gonna 100%, you know, I feel like follow that. So I'm learning in my process of what that thing is for me to like convey, like, yo, this is what we need to do. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you, I feel like the compliment sandwich will always get you what you want and where you need to be because people just like melt right into that. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is great. It's great. You know, I would try it like this, but the way how you did it like this, amazing. Because I used to like produce for an R&B singer, a radio host, right? And I used to use that all the time.
Right.
all the time.
Right. Yeah, man.
And he would eat that up.
Yeah. You know, it's like it's the illest Jedi mind trick. I mean, it's like a crazy Jedi mind trick. And, compliment, but we need to do this.
Yes.
Compliment.
Was it dope to see Rihanna perform the song that you produced on the Super Bowl, the halftime show?
Man, that was amazing. That was amazing. And honestly speaking, I didn't think she was gonna perform it, bro.
Mm,
Because of, I remember like back in the day, well, a couple years ago, when Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake thing, right? When that
right.
happened, it was like a big thing. So I felt like the Super Bowl became like this clean cut, halftime show where they didn't want it to be too edgy. And of course, bitch, but I have my money, is technically a edgy phrase. And, so while there were paperwork being done in the background, it also said it wasn't guaranteed that she would have performed it.
Mhm.
So halftime comes and I'm at a party and it's the first song, bro. Like not only is she performing, it's the first song.
Knocked it out of the
I'm
park.
thinking like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so it was an amazing surprise for me, and just an amazing moment to just see a song that we did just continue to like have such an impact, and to where this is what she opened up with, like the most. I think it was the most viewed
Yep.
like show or like insane, brother, insane.
When you say paperwork, what paperwork goes into, I guess, that?
Well, in terms of like, because there's a lot of licensing that needs to be done that you have to sign off on,
Do
right?
you for you or for
Well, the creators of the song, once you do
okay.
a song and it's aired on TV or it's aired in a movie, you know, uh, legally you have to sign off on that because you have to grant rights. We all have rights, and you have to grant permission for the use of that. So in the background, I was signing the paperwork, but it also said that it wasn't guaranteed that the songs, would have been performed.
That's like their loophole.
Yeah, 100%. So
Right.
in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, I signed it. So, and I almost betted somebody like, bro, I bet she doesn't perform the song. And
You would have lost.
bro, man, I would have lost so crazy. But it would have been the most amazing loss ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, what? I won. Close, but I really won. And I won, and I won amazingly. And man, shout out to Rihanna. Like that was what a moment.
I
What a moment.
appreciate you sharing that because I feel like a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people love behind the scenes information when it comes to like, paperwork and things like that. Cause I think a lot of people think that the artists just get on stage and start performing, but nobody realizes the business that comes with it.
Oh yeah, there's a whole back end, of things that happens, where, paperwork happens and it's a part of it, it's just a part of the process. It's not even anything secretive or like I don't speak about it. It's something, it's just a
Yeah.
formality of the business. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you ever get, I'm sure you get a lot of people that say or ask, how do I get into business?
Yeah.
How would you guide someone to jumping into business, start producing? What would you say to them that's watching and listening to the video right now?
Well, for today, in today's world, because it's a little different now. Everything is like social media driven, right? So for people looking to get into the industry now, I would advise them to use their social media, one. But outside of that, when you use it, I would advise them to make themselves be a benefit to whoever they're trying to like get to. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I can be an asset, present themselves as an asset instead of like, hey, could you help me? You know what I mean? How can I be an asset to you, and what you have going on? And I feel like people are more likely to respond to that approach. Because there's everyone is like reaching out, hey, I'm this producer, hey, I'm this artist, hear my stuff. And it's hard in the moment to like really go through all those things. So in the approach, that would be my advice. Also, too, I would say, just make sure you perfect your craft, and your ins and outs of whatever it is that you're doing. If you're an artist, if you're a writer, if you're a producer, and have intention, be intentional with what you want to do, with your creativity, just understand that what your purpose is and set your intentions and allow your steps to follow and lead you up to whatever that intention is.
You know what's interesting? I feel like that is advice for whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, could be. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely, generally speaking, just whatever it is, 100%. Yeah.
Let us know, what are you working on next?
Next, well, I worked on a project with Selena Gomez, and I'm looking for that to, come out at some point. But for the most part, I'm also looking to work with new artists. I feel like it's important for the industry to continue to have like a revolving door of new faces and fresh superstars and with potential. So I'm always open to working with new artists and just continuing what the success that I have right now onto to other artists that we know too. At the moment, working on more Rihanna stuff, and
Wait, what? More
other,
Rihanna stuff,
yeah.
Chef?
I mean, well, I'm always working on Rihanna stuff, and I think also too because I'm in this disruptive and urgency phase, like of where I'm at creatively. Like it, when I think about who can deliver that, it's Rihanna. You know what I mean? Like she's edgy, she's out the box. You know, a lot of people said that they wanted another bitch better have my money, but they probably weren't edgy enough or they didn't want to like think outside the box, right? That song isn't your normal song, you know what I mean? And it takes an artist who wants to be daring and wants to be edgy and out the box to like deliver that. And now that I'm in this phase of like, I really want to disrupt stuff. Rihanna's always, at the top of my mind and thoughts. So, yeah.
That song is such a vibe, though. Like, it's just a vibe. You ever be in a club, drinking your hand, and you just two-stepping and diddy bopping? Like, that is the song that is in my head when that is going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, bro, it probably still as amazing as it is and as popular as it is, like it still trips me out. It's still surreal. Like, when I see people react to it and when I even hear it, you know what I mean? It's such a surreal like moment to just look back and just acknowledge, you know what I mean?
Do me a favor and tell me about, how did On My Mama come about?
On My Mama, let's see. Well, I've been working with Vic for probably about 4 years now.
Mhm.
Vic and I first song that we did was Jaguar, the song Jaguar off the Jaguar One project.
Mhm.
And I feel like that one session, right, sparked a creative friendship, a creative, just synergy there. And we kept working. And this particular day, I was in the studio. It was Vic, myself, and Jeff Giddy, who's also on the record. And we were in the studio, and we started the beat, we started the foundation for the beat, and Vic started writing the song. And she's such an amazing writer that when she started writing, I'm like, wow. In my mind, I already knew what it was because the verse, obviously you hear the first verse, right? So we're going, we're working, she's writing, and as we get to the hook, or not as we, but I know Vic is like, formulating the hook in her head. In my mind, I'm formulating the hook too, and I just heard On My Mama, On My Hood, right? Shout out to Charlie Boy. So when I heard that, I turned to Vic and I was like, yo, Vic, what if we, I hate that I sing this because I can't really sing, right? So I'm singing it to her, and she's looking at me and I'm like, yo, and it was almost like one of the moments where you just spoke about earlier, like, yo, Vic, like this is the hook, like this is the hook, right? But I feel like because our creative synergy is cool and we've worked with before, it's easier, you know what I mean? Like it's easier for us to go through that process. And yeah, gave her that idea, and to her genius, she like basically just repurposed it and like made it into her own way. You know what I mean? Took the melodies and just went crazy with it. And yeah,
It's
crazy.
collaboration a beautiful thing?
Man, it is. It is. And especially with people that, that you actually enjoy working with and inspired by. You know what I mean? I'm really inspired by Vic. She knows what she wants. She curates her sound, and she has a vision. You know what I mean? So it's easy to just understand what she wants, or to do things creatively that fits who she is as an artist. And I just felt like, man, like as amount of amazing music that she's put out, like it would be amazing to have a song that just like crosses all boundaries, where everyone can enjoy it. Because I also believe that success is like the unknown meets familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
So the unknown is this record that Vic is on, and her sound is just different, but the familiarity is the on my mama.
Yeah.
So I feel like that marriage was a successful one creatively, and here we are today on my mama going crazy.
Isn't it crazy when you think of the process or the journey of the song, like you guys in the studio, and then
And,
now,
and, and yeah, 100%. And even from that process, it went through a whole different process of like trying this, trying that. Uh I'm pretty sure her and D Mile, went in the studio and tinkered and added some things. So it's crazy, like the journey of a song to like where we started it to where it is now, to what you're listening to, what the listeners are listening to.
and
Great.
then Grammy nomination.
And then Grammy nominations. You heard? Let's go.
That
Let's go.
feels good though. Like, and it was interesting. I don't know if you feel this way, but have you ever been in the studio and you think to yourself, "Man, this is definitely going to be nominated for a Grammy," when you're in it?
No, no. Well, not me. No,
Okay.
I haven't been in that situation. But one thing I can tell you for sure, when I left the studio and we did that song, right? I knew that it was a hit. I knew it was special.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a complete song, but the basis of it, I don't think we had a second. No, we didn't have a second verse yet. But I understood what that record was the same way when I left the studio after doing Bitch But I Have My Money. The demo, I knew what that was. I went home and I wrote it on my vision board. Rihanna record. I think I named it You Owe Me. Like I
Mm-hmm.
I knew what it was. And there are certain records that you just know are special. Now I didn't have the foresight to see a Grammy nomination, but that's all the amazing things that come with just doing amazing things. But I 100% understood what we just did when we left the studio.
I love that for you, Deputy. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.